My name is Elias. I am 34 years old, and there is a story I have carried quietly inside me for a long time. Tonight, I want to let it speak. I am a simple man. I wake up early. I make coffee. I wash my cup. I check the window. These small habits are my comfort. They give the day a shape, a feeling of safety. Before I met my wife, my life moved in a straight line. Work, bus, home, dinner, sleep. It was not a bad life. It was just quiet. I met Mara at a small office party. The music was soft. There was cake on a white plate. She stood near the window, looking outside like she was counting the city lights. I noticed her hands first. They were still calm. Then I noticed her smile. It was slow, like it meant something. We talked about nothing important. Coffee, rain, the bus being late. I did not feel fireworks that evening. I felt something better. I felt my shoulders drop. I felt like I could breathe. We met again. Then again, we walked after work. We shared bread from the same bag. She laughed at my quiet jokes, and I listened carefully when she talked. She told me about her mother's garden. She told me about losing her father when she was young. When she spoke about painful things, I stayed still. I wanted to hold her words gently, like something fragile and important. We did not rush. We did not make big promises. We promised only to meet, to be honest. One evening, I asked her to marry me. My hands were shaking. My voice was low. She looked at me for a long moment, her eyes steady and warm. Then she said yes. Just yes, it was enough. But the wedding day arrived. There were flowers and chairs, and people who knew us and people who did not. I wore a suit that felt stiff. She wore a dress that moved like air. Standing beside her, I felt tall and small and full all at the same time. Then the day ended and the night began. Our first night as husband and wife, we went to a small room in a quiet hotel. The door closed with a soft click. City lights blinked faintly through the curtain. I sat on the edge of the bed. She took off her shoes. She smiled, but her smile was careful, like mine was. My heart was moving fast. My mind was moving faster. I had an idea in my head about how that night was supposed to feel. I thought love should be loud. I thought romance should burn bright. I thought I should know exactly what to do. But sitting there on that bed, I realized I did not know. And that silence, that honest, unfamiliar silence, was the first real thing we shared as husband and wife. It was not a bad silence. It was just new. I heard the clock on the wall. I heard my own breathing. Then she sat beside me, close enough that our knees touched. We both noticed. We both waited. I wanted to be perfect that night. I wanted to be strong and confident. I wanted to give her something beautiful, something she would remember forever. But all that wanting made me tight. It made me quiet in the wrong way. Then she looked at me. Her eyes were kind. She reached over and took my hand. Her fingers were cool at first, then warm. She said my name, just my name. And in that small moment, something shifted inside me. I understood something simple and enormous at the same time. Romance is not a performance. Marriage is not a test. Love does not ask you to be impressive. Love asks you to stay. I took a slow breath. I let my shoulders fall. And then I told her the truth. I told her I was scared. I told her I did not want to rush. I told her I wanted to be honest with her, even now, even tonight. My voice was not smooth or confident. It was real. That was all it could be. She nodded. She leaned her head gently onto my shoulder. We sat like that for a long time. The clock kept moving. The city kept blinking outside. Nothing broke. Nothing failed. We talked softly about the wedding day, about the cake, about how her shoes had been hurting since the morning, about how my tie had been too tight all afternoon. We laughed. It was a gentle laughter, the kind that does not demand anything from you. Slowly, the tightness in my chest began to loosen. Later, we lay down. The light was low. The room felt smaller somehow, and safer. I felt her breathing grow slow and steady beside me. I felt my own breathing begin to match hers without trying. Our hands found each other again, easy this time, natural. I did not need to prove anything. I did not need to hurry. I did not need to be someone different from who I was. I was her husband. She was my wife. That was enough. Morning came softly, pale light, quiet sounds from the street below. She was still sleeping, her hair falling across her face. I watched her breathe for a moment, and I felt a peace in my chest that I had never felt before. I got up quietly and made coffee with the small machine by the window. The cups were thin. The coffee was weak. It tasted like the best thing I had ever made. I carried a cup back to the bed and sat beside her. She opened her eyes slowly and smiled at me, warm and sleepy. That smile told me everything. That first night did not shout. It did not burn. It did not look like the nights I had seen in films or read about in stories. It was quieter than all of that. It rested. It held us. It taught me that real romance can be soft and still be strong. That love does not always arrive with fire. Sometimes it arrives like a hand finding yours in the dark. Simple, sure, warm. Now, years later, when life feels heavy and loud, when work presses down and words run dry, I return to that quiet hotel room in my memory, the low light, the gentle hands. The truth spoken in a low voice between two people who were afraid and honest and present. My first night was not about doing something right. It was about being real with another person, and like a small light left on in a dark room, it did not blind me. It let me see.